Alright, gentle raps and gingle jops. How are you all today? Good, great, lovely, me too. Having a wonderful day, truly. So, in today's episode of Dwarf Fortress, we are going to finish building our barracks large enough for 10 dwarves, which is the max squad size. We are going to finish our trash pile, which really badly needs to be done, because things are smelly. We're going to finish our stone stockpile, and we will start on some surface fortifications. What do I mean by surface fortifications? Let me show you. So the intention is to sort of build a wall out like that-ish. Please excuse the drawing, it's harder than it looks. or don't excuse it, it's up to you. And this will be 2 high, so 2 levels. And it'll have a fighting rampart on the back that dwarves can walk on. And it's gonna have holes in it for now. At some point I'll probably have to, well, it might make sense to build it over this actually. Build a bridge out. Either way, that would be a very, very long project. So we'll have to think about that. Because it could be that we build like a walkway out to here and then sort of build our fort there, kind of floating, and that way, I guess more like this. Let's try this again. Let's do that. Yeah. So instead, we could have it stick out like this, sort of a fort like that, and then have it connected to the doorway, which would then be walled off and roofed, so you couldn't really get in or out. And then over here, we'd have a retractable bridge, which mark like that. Fighting platform, and then the bridge could be retracted, and then you couldn't approach from this side. Though I suppose we'd have to have it long enough so that you could also have a bridge over here. Which, yeah, I think that would be super cool. Just hanging over this. Might make it like circular so it fits in this space a bit better. But, yeah. If that is what we do, that's going to take a bit, but I figure we can probably get that started this episode. So yeah, first things first, let's deal with that barracks. So the barracks, as you may remember from last time, is actually fully dug out. So I'm going to go away. I'm going to queue up the order to get her done, and the next you will see of me, hopefully we'll have a few of these things ticked off the list. Alright. Alright, well, something of note has definitely happened. We found our first cavern. For those of you familiar with the series, this could spell doom, but it also spells, well, there's a bunch of nice ore in here. It's great. So let's just have a look and see what we got. So the walls are schist, which is, you know, good. Some indigo in here. What's this? There's an ore over here. Tetrahydrite. I think that's iron, but I could be wrong. Orthoclase, again, just a good building material. This is purple over here. Hornblende. I don't know if I've ever had hornblende before, so I'll have to look that up on the wiki and see what it's good for. Open space. Schist again. Yeah, I'm sure there's more. Various gems. I'm not really worried about which gems they all have. I'm sure they all have completely different values and whatnot, but if I'm being entirely honest, it doesn't matter. We're going to encrust things with them, maybe make some windows, but how much we profit off of it doesn't matter a huge amount. So, the big thing to keep in mind here is that now that we have found this place, it's very important for us to stop our miners from continuing their course as it currently exists. Because if they do so, they're going to break on through into the cave fully, and then anything that's in the cave can come visit us at its leisure. And I'm not about that life. That is to say, I don't want to die. Okay. So, have we breached yet? We have not. Which is super, super good. We're going to have them... If we we continue down this way, it's good all the way down. So, yeah, what we're gonna do, because this is like the top level of the cave, this is open space. There's a bit of floor there, but the actual floor of the cave is way the hell down here. Ooh, there's in fact the remains of something that's been killed here. We'll have a look at that in a minute and see what else we can see. Right, so what we're going to tell them to do, make this a 3. It's not super important, but it definitely matters. Is just have a little room there, and we'll have them dig down to this level. This is this level. And then we'll have them dig over until they just about breach the wall, but not quite, because we don't want them to do that yet. Because that would be very, 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 very bad. Alright, so we'll let them get to that. Oops. That was a mistake. No. Not build. Designate. Messed up here. Okay. So, we'll see how this turns out for us. For now, they're doing what we asked them to. I am going to have them build just in case. I really dislike for it to be possible for them to get through that. I'm gonna have that built, and that'll mean it's a 1 wide stairway, which I don't love, but that's okay. Okay, they built it. We're safe. Ooh, and there are things down there. So let's see what's down there. Giant sparrows. And a giant sponge. Where's that? In the lake. I don't know what a giant sponge is good for, but super cool. Let's see the giant sparrows. So our cave is infested with giant sparrows. What can we learn about our giant sparrows? A large bird-like monster in the shape of a sparrow. Well, that's I don't know what I was expecting, but that's pretty close. She is average in size, her feathers are brown, her skin is burnt umber, her eyes are black. So we have a terrifying giant bird cave. Someone call Alfred Hitchcock, I have a complaint to make. Awesome. Well, let's hope nothing comes of that. Gonna report a little bit of a change of plan here. I had said earlier I'm gonna work on the fort. I don't think we need the fort yet, primarily because we're likely to starve or run out of booze long before anything shows up to kill us, fingers crossed. Oh, I think he just got a lamprey. Lovely. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to work on the farm. And to do that, what I will likely do is build a chamber here, quite a large one, which we can drain this pond into, which we can then allow to dry naturally, hopefully. Worst case scenario, we can drain it through here, down the steps, and into the cave, which is a great way to get rid of water. And then that should leave mud behind, which we can then use for farm plots. So that's the new plan. We have idlers, which upsets me, but yeah. So that instead of the fort. Sorry if you got excited about us not dying to a werebeast, but no, that possibility remains open. So see y'all when that inevitably shows up. Alright, wasn't technically on the list, but that's fine. We now have bedrooms. So these are all done. This hasn't been turned into an office or anything yet, but maybe at some point it will when we actually have a mayor. Currently we just have an expedition leader, and he's the head of our military. So it's not really worth turning this into anything until there's actually a reason to have an office. But we do have beds. That is done. The other thing that's been done is this here is a hatch cover covering a ramp that leads here to the trash pile. There's no trash in there yet because apparently we haven't produced any, which is nice. But that's what that is. The hatch cover will hopefully keep any miasma from seeping up when they do put corpses and stuff in there. We have our stone stockpile. They've begun to use it. They're starting to pile up stone in there, which is always nice. And that, I think... Oh yeah, and the barracks! The barracks is also done. So the barracks is done, and if we look here, we have our two soldiers training. They're having a great time. Yes, we're both doing individual combat drills, which is great. So that's working, and when we get more people, another migration wave, probably in the spring, we'll be able to assign a few more to the squad. Currently, this guy, Tekid Nishbavast, has... well, he has no weapon, to put it simply, and no armor, so he's just learning how to punch and bite and stuff, I guess. But really, the important skills are Dodger and Shield User. How good they are with their weapons doesn't really matter if they fight an enemy and that enemy is way, way larger than they are and they don't dodge or block their hits. It's not going to matter how good they are at poking the enemy. If they can't survive the first swipe, they're going to lose the fight. So it's fine that he doesn't have a weapon for now. We'll just have to keep that in mind and really work hard not to send them to their deaths in pointless fights. So yeah, we'll keep that in mind, that he has no weapon. Aside from that, we have a clay collection area, a sand collection area, which no one's collecting yet because we don't yet have the kiln up and running, because last I checked, our smelter still isn't done. So that needs masonry, I think. Yep. And the masons have been very busy, so they're gonna take a minute on that one. Yeah, it's all good. Alright, bit of a new development here. I've gone ahead and just built the preliminary hall, or like meeting hall. I'm gonna turn it into a meeting hall pretty much as soon as I can. I won't actually have to make a platform up here so we can build a window so you can see the mist, and the dwarves can be happy with that. Actually, I guess I could just cut that out. Well, no, I don't want things getting through. That's that's important. Maybe do bars. I don't know if I actually have to touch the mist or not. I should really look into that. Either way. So that will be a hall at some point. We got, you know, this nice hallway leading into it that's all crenellated, I suppose. We'll have this engraved as soon as we have actual engravers and get all that done. Other things that have been completed are... we have garbage in the garbage pit, which is nice. We're expanding the stone, nothing further down than that, or the stone stockpile, my apologies. Clay is still, you know, ready to be collected anytime. And I'm about to get this going, and it'll be a little bit complicated. Well, actually, I guess it doesn't really have to be. Drying it out is going to be a pain, but yeah, we'll see. It could be interesting. So I'm just going to give the order, actually, since they're about to finish that, to go ahead and dig through here. Alright, our miners are just digging through. Here comes the water and wood. I guess we'll get to pick up that wood at some point. So the hope here is that that is enough water to cover most of this floor. There is actually a way to work out the math as to whether or not it will, but I didn't. Surprise, surprise. So we're just going to see how much of this floor actually gets covered. It's looking pretty good so far. Everywhere the water goes, it's going to leave behind mud, and when it does so, we're going to end up with farmable tiles, basically. So this is actually really convenient for us that this water was here at all. If it hadn't been, we would have had to find some way of diverting from the stream, and the stream could very easily end up flooding our fort if we did it wrong. So this is great, all things considered. That said, we are still going to have to divert the stream at some point, or at least lock it up. Probably put a wall here, and then 2 floodgates there. And then close them so that we can go down here and build the little waterfall viewing gallery. But for now, this is gonna keep on going, and I'll join you guys again when the farms are going down. Well, this is unexpected. Migrants have just arrived, and I'm pretty sure it's winter, so I don't know what that's about. But let's see. Maybe they'll be useful somehow. Although them not moving is a little bit disturbing. It's okay. What's up? No, an engraver. We actually need you. Awesome. Is he stuck in a pit? No. No, doesn't seem to be anything particularly wrong with him. send the squad out, I guess. See if we can't greet them, galvanize them into action. Let's see what they do. Okay, more migrants coming in from the edge of the map. Okay, he's making his way to us. Okay, there's the squad moving up to meet them. Alright. Probably cancel the stationing. Alright, well, for whatever reason, they've decided that they're not gonna run on down right away. And I'm sure there's good reasons for that. I'm really not sure there's good reasons for that. The dwarves, they do things. They don't provide reasons for doing things. They just do them. So I'll rejoin you guys with the titillating spreadsheet of who we just got new once they actually show up in the fort. Alright, so as we can see, the water is slowly drying out. It's gonna be a bit longer before it's all dry and we can actually start to use it, and this is probably going to continue to be a pain for some time to come. In fact, let's just go ahead and solve that problem. Let's build a wall here. Let's use... No, we're not going to salt the fields with a rock salt wall. I don't know if that's an interaction that can actually happen in the game, but if it did... Oh, and our unarmed dude just became a wrestler, which is good and bad. Wrestlers are hard to kill, but they don't kill much. Yeah. Right, so the promised spreadsheet. Let's have a look. These are the migrants. So this group down here, it was a big group. So we got a child, a baby, a beekeeper. I don't even know if we have bees. We have a blacksmith now, which is really nice. We have a professional cook, which I'm not sure we needed. A surgeon's nice, although he's fishing right now. Engraver, we actually wanted another engraver. The ranger, I skipped over because we didn't want him. Nobody wanted him. What else we got? I think that's a farmer. Farmer, yep, farmer, farmer. Child, peasant, that'll be a soldier, farmer. Some of these farmers will probably also end up soldiers, if I'm being honest. But altogether, it wasn't bad. The metalsmith is a pretty nice thing to get, or blacksmith. That's pretty great. The beekeeper, if we have bees, is fantastic, but I don't know that we have bees, so I'm gonna have to go find out. But yeah, it's a good migration wave. I'm not... Oh, a giant barn owl just attacked our ranger. Oh boy. Let's see here. Yeah. Farmers become enraged. At what? Carpenter is fighting? The lie maker is becoming... I don't know what happened. I have no idea. Maybe it doesn't matter. It probably doesn't matter. What does matter is that this hall has smooth stone. Gonna be honest, that doesn't sound like the most important thing right now. But we have 2 engravers, so we may as well get started on it, because at some point we're gonna want this hall to actually be pretty magnificent. And it won't be if we don't smooth it. So we smooth the stone, and then once it's nice and smoothed out, we will send them back to do the engraving. And it's just a good way to keep them busy in the meantime. So what's next? What's next for us? I've built a bunch more bedrooms, which I'll assign in a minute. I turned this into a meeting room just temporarily, because that's why the doors weren't moving underground. There was no meeting space. So now they can do that, which is good. It started raining again. It rains a lot in our world. Don't entirely know why. Oh, inaccessible. I bet you I know why that is. I'm willing to bet it's because... Oh, it's not. So I don't know why it's inaccessible. There's an inaccessible duck somewhere, which is odd. So we've walled this off now, and that will start to refill with rainwater, and it rains a lot, so that's great. So if we ever want to, like, I don't know, do the other half, we can. The other way we could do the other half is dig a channel to this, which I might do. I'm gonna think about that. I don't know that we could dig a direct enough channel for it to actually fill all of it. And this is actually a fair amount of dirt, so I'm gonna say no for now. Next up... What is next up? I have no idea. I mean, really just get the kiln and the glass furnace. The smelter needs to be built, and the wood furnace needs to be built. If we can get both of those going, we'll be wonderful. Currently, it's not happening, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna go work out now. And I'll see you when I do. Just a wee bit of a check-in. It is now summer. We've done it. We made it through the winter and we hardly even noticed. So when they said temperate, they really meant temperate. It was a very mild winter. So I appreciate that. I really do. We're doing okay just on fishing for now. So I think we are. That's the wrong button. Z for stocks. Let's see what's going on in the kitchen. Uh-oh. Do we not have any? Okay, meat, none, fish, raw fish. So yeah, we're okay. We have 70 prepared meals. Total dwarves are at 34, so as long as we keep that, we should be okay. Might make another kitchen just in case, but not super worried. All in all, things are going pretty smoothly. So smoothly that I'm starting to worry that maybe things are going too well. No, seriously, any second now I'm expecting like a bronze colossus or something else, maybe a minotaur. Truly horrible to show up and try its darndest to murder me, which brings us to a kobold. Well, we don't like that now, do we? So, as friends of the show will already know, the chances of us catching this guy are pretty much 0. But it's an opportunity to send our military out to do something useful, and frankly, they could use the practice chasing something real. So, what we're going to do, I think, is going to watch this guy and see what he does. I would be very surprised if they caught the thief. It is... Oh, yeah, well, that's that. The thief ran, so... There you go. There's your exciting bit. Welcome to Kobolds. You don't really start to... Uh-oh. One of our rangers is taken by a fey mood, which means it's time for him to build a masterpiece. Or go crazy because we don't have the materials for him to build it. That happens a lot. Fingers crossed we have the materials, I guess. Should. I'll let you know how that turns out.